6 days before Passover, Jesus arrived at Bethany, where Lazarus, whom he raised for the dead, lived. There they prepared supper for him. Lazarus joined him at the table while Martha was serving them. In the meantime, Mary took a pound of very expensive spikenard oil and massaged Jesus' feet and wiped it with her hair. The entire house was filled with the fragrance. One of his disciples, Judas Iscariot, who betrayed him, was shocked at this and said, "Why this waste? The perfume could have been sold for a year's wages and the money given to the poor." He couldn't care less about the poor. He was a thief, and while he was entrusted with the money bag, he would help himself to it. Then Jesus said, "Do not hinder her. She has preserved this for the preparation of my burial. You will always have the poor to minister to with you, but you will not always have me with you." A large crowd of Jews heard that Jesus was in Bethany and went there not only to see Jesus, but Lazarus, who was raised from the dead. So the chief priests determined to kill Lazarus as well. They knew that because of him, many were leaving their faith to join Jesus. The following day, many people were flocking to the feast because they learned that Jesus was coming to Jerusalem. They gathered palm branches and went to meet him while continually shouting, "Hosanna!" His act of rescuing us out of slavery is now realized and celebrated. Well spoken of is the King of Israel who comes in the name of the Lord. Having found a young colt, Jesus sat on it and fulfilled that which was written prophetically about him in Scripture. "Fear not, daughter of Zion. Rejoice exceedingly. Pay attention. Your king is coming, humbly riding a donkey, a mere colt of a donkey." The disciples did not immediately realize the profound significance of this moment. It was only after he was glorified that the full impact of what was written of him and what they did to him dawned on them. The people who witnessed the raising of Lazarus from the dead gave testimony to what they have encountered. This was also part of the reason why so many people came out to meet him, since they too have heard about the miracle. The Pharisees were perplexed about this and said, "Look, we are gaining no ground against him. The entire world is running after him." There were also a number of Greeks who came to worship at the feast because of the rumors they have heard. They approached Philip, who was from Bethsaida in Galilee, and asked him, "Sir, we would be delighted to see Jesus. Is there perhaps any chance that you could introduce us to him?" Philip went and told Andrew, and the two of them told Jesus. Jesus, immediately understanding the prophetic significance of the moment, knew that he, the Messiah, was who all the nations were longing for, and answered, "The hour is here for the Son of Man to be glorified. Most certainly shall the single grain of wheat fall into the earth and die. If it doesn't die, it remains alone. But in its death, it produces much fruit. To hold on despairingly to a mere life defined by the soul realm is to lose it. But to abandon the soul substitute for the real deal is to observe your spiritual life, which is the life of the ages. Whoever continues to minister to me, let him keep on following me. Where I go, you will share unhindered companionship with me. This shared union is what Father greatly values. My soul is exceedingly perplexed right now. What shall I say? Father, rescue me out of the clutches of this hour? No, this hour is the very culmination of my destiny. Father, glorify your name. And immediately there came a voice out of the heavenly realm saying, I have glorified it, and I will glorify it again." The crowd heard the voice and said that it had thundered. Others thought it was the voice of a celestial messenger. Jesus replied, "This voice was not for my sake, but for yours. Now is the judgment of the world. This is the moment where the ruler of the world system is conclusively cast out. When I am lifted up from the earth, I will draw all mankind and every definition of judgment unto me." This he said to point to the way in which he would die. The people answered him, "We understood from the law that the Christ remains forever. On what basis would you say then that the Son of Man would be lifted up? Who is this Son of Man?" Then Jesus said, "Yet a little while the light is in your midst. Walk in accordance with the light that you have. Then you will not be overtaken by darkness. For the one who walks in darkness has no idea where to go. So long as you have the light, live persuaded in the conclusion of light. Oh, that you might realize your authentic origin as the sons of light." Even though he has done so many miracles in front of their eyes, they were still not persuaded about him. Their persistent unbelief reminds of what Isaiah said, "Lord, who has believed our report? To whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed? Who understands how God has reached into our world?" They were incapable of faith, since Isaiah also said, "He has blinded their eyes and hardened their heart, so they could not see with the eyes of their understanding, nor perceive with the heart," which veiled them from being radically turned about and face the fact that I have been their healing all along. Isaiah said these things when he saw the beauty of God on exhibit in the Messiah. Many of the chief rulers believed that Jesus was the Messiah, but because of the Pharisees, they would not openly confess him, since they knew that they would be thrown out of the synagogue. They loved the opinion and recognition of people more than the opinion of God. Jesus cried out and said, "To believe in me is not merely proof that I have won your vote. It proves your belief in the one who sent me. To see me is to see him who sent me. I have come to enlighten the world so that anyone who believes in me should no longer abide in darkness. If anyone hears my words and rejects them, I do not judge that person, for I did not come to judge the world, but to save the world. The one who rejects me and my words has one who judges him. The very word that I have spoken to him is the final judge. No one will escape the ultimate scrutiny of the word. I have not conjured up what I have spoken to you, but the Father who sent me has given me specific instruction to say what I do in the way that I do it. And I know that this instruction is the life of the ages. The detail of what I say echoes exactly what I've heard my Father say."